Que Sera Sera is the opening theme of the MGM Plus series from, and in my opinion is the most important piece of music, in understanding the entire show. Firstly, what does the song mean? On the surface, it's a cheerful, optimistic pop standard from the 1950s, written by Jay Livingston and Ray Evans and made famous by Doris Day and Alfred Hitchcock's The Man Who Knew Too Much. The Spanish-sounding phrase translates roughly to whatever will be, will be. And the original song is built around a parent reassuring a child not to worry about the uncertainty of the future. It's warm, it's soothing. It's the kind of song a mother hums to a scared kid. However, takes that exact same comfort and twists it into something unsettling, using a stripped-down, haunting cover performed by the band the Pixies, recorded specifically for the series. The cover strips away the bounce and the brass of the original arrangement, leaving mostly a single voice and a slow, dragging tempo. What was once a lullaby about embracing an unknowable future becomes something closer to a warning, or a eulogy. And that shift, comfort curdling into dread, is the entire emotional thesis of From. In this town nothing is ever really for sure, too. The show opens every single episode with this song playing over images of the town, the woods, and the people trapped inside. The lyrics ask a child what they will become, what their future holds, and the answer is always the same: whatever will be, the future's not ours to see. In the original song, that's meant to be liberating, you don't need to control everything. Just let life happen. In From, that same sentiment becomes genuinely terrifying, because the characters in this town have had their future taken away entirely. They are not choosing whatever will be. Whatever will be is choosing them. The question the song keeps asking, what will I be, what will become of me, is the central question hanging over every character trapped in the town. Will they escape? Will they survive the night? Will they become one of the things in the woods? The song frames the entire show as a kind of fatalistic lullaby, being sung to people who have no idea what's coming for them. Now let's break down how this theme plays out across some of the show's major character fates. Jim Matthews is introduced as the show's emotional center, a father desperately trying to hold his family together while secretly falling apart from PTSD from his baby Thomas dying, and his marital issues. Jim spends the early seasons trying to control the uncontrollable, trying to fix the town, fix his family, fix himself. Que Sera Sera's message, that the future isn't yours to control, is the lesson Jim resists hardest. His arc is defined by his refusal to accept that some things simply will be what they will be, and that refusal is what eventually breaks him. Tabitha Matthews represents almost the opposite response to the same theme. As a mother trying to protect her children, Ethan and Julie, Tabitha is forced again and again to make impossible choices about what kind of person she will become in a place that strips away identity and hope. But her arc takes on an even deeper meaning when she discovers she is the reincarnation of Victor's mother, meaning she has been pulled back into this nightmare across lifetimes. Her recurring partner throughout these cycles is Jade, and together they represent all the variations of their shared story playing out from the very beginning, over and over again. The show repeatedly frames her arc through the lens of fate versus maternal agency, whether the town and the things in the woods are shaping her into something inevitable, or whether she still holds any control over her own future. Her storyline becomes one of the clearest illustrations of the show asking, can you change what will be, or are you just delaying it, even when everything you love is on the line? Because if she has already lived and died here before as another woman, another mother, then the question isn't just what she will become, it's whether she can ever become anything different. Next we have Boyd Stevens, the town's sheriff, and perhaps the character most directly defined by the song's central irony. Boyd has spent years trying to protect the people of the town, trying to give them a future, while privately believing that future may not exist for any of them. His arc is about carrying the weight of whatever will be, on behalf of an entire community that doesn't know the truth. He becomes the show's tragic embodiment of someone who has accepted the fatalism of the theme song long before anyone else, and it costs him everything. Here is the interesting part. The new arrivals at the start of the series enter the town the same way the listener enters the song, with no idea what they're walking into. Their early episodes track the loss of normalcy, the realization that the future they imagine for themselves, a new town, a new chapter, a fresh start, has been replaced by something they have absolutely no control over. Ethan and Victor in particular becomes a study in how someone young can be forced to confront the song's question, what will I be, far too early and far too violently. Even the things in the woods, the creatures terrorizing the town, can be read through the lens of the theme song. Whatever they are, whatever created them, the show repeatedly suggests that their existence and their hunger simply is, with no explanation given, no reason offered. They are the purest expression of whatever will be stripped of any comfort at all. They don't choose to hunt the townspeople out of malice necessarily, they do it because that is simply what they are, and the show refuses to give the audience the relief of a tidy explanation. However, a perfect world for the people trapped in this town would be one where the road out actually leads somewhere. But the show keeps reinforcing that the road is a loop. The town doesn't let people leave, and every attempt to escape circles back to the same place. That central mystery, why can't anyone leave, becomes the show's literalization of the song's lyric, about the future not being yours to see. There may not even be a future outside this place to see. The show's mythology slowly reveals that the town may be tied to something ancient. Something that has been claiming people for a very long time, long before any of the current residents arrived. There's a recurring idea of people arriving somewhere that was already marked, already claimed, long before they understood what they were walking into. The town existed and was already deciding fates before anyone currently living there showed up. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of From is how the show treats death. Characters die suddenly, often without warning, often in the middle of completely mundane moments. There's no build-up, no dramatic countdown. One moment someone is talking about dinner, and the next moment they're gone. This mirrors the theme song almost perfectly. The future's not ours to see really does mean that. The show refuses to let its characters, or its audience, see death coming. Whatever will be, and it can happen at any time, to anyone, regardless of how important they seem to the story. Next up is the bus that showed up at the end of Season 1, the group of people trapped on a bus that crashed near the town at the start of the series. Represents perhaps the purest distillation of the show's premise. None of these people chose to be here. They were simply traveling, living their lives, heading toward whatever future they had planned, and then the road brought them here instead. Their entire arc becomes a question of whether they can build any kind of future at all inside a place that seems determined to erase the concept of a future entirely. What's interesting is that the show occasionally lets characters glimpse the idea of choice within all this fatalism. Small acts of kindness, small decisions to protect someone else, to stay rather than run, to trust rather than isolate, these moments suggest that even if the big picture, whether anyone escapes, whether anyone survives, is out of their hands, how they treat each other along the way is not. That's the show's quiet rebuttal to total fatalism. Whatever will be, but how you face it is still yours. This is also where the cover version becomes so important. The original Doris Day recording has full lyrics about growing up, falling in love, having children of your own, an entire life cycle treated with warmth. The Pixies version used in From strips much of that away and lets the melody and the repetition of the chorus sit in silence and dread. By removing the reassurance, the show forces the listener to sit with just the question, what will I be, without ever getting the comforting answer the original song implies. So why is this theme song the most important piece of music in understanding From? Because every major mystery in the show, why people can't leave, what the creatures are, what the town actually is, all circles back to this single unanswered question. What will I be? The show has gone several seasons without giving a full answer, and that's intentional. The theme song isn't just an intro, it's the show's mission statement. It's telling you from the very first frame that you are not going to get certainty here. You are only going to get whatever will be. And that ties back to the characters we've discussed. Jim's refusal to accept uncertainty, Tabitha's discovery that she has lived this life before as Victor's mother and that her story with Jade has played out in countless variations since the beginning, Boyd's quiet acceptance of a fate he can't change, Kenny and Donna's loss of the future they planned. All of these arcs are the show asking its audience the same question the song asks a child. What will you be when the future isn't yours to see, and when you've already failed to change it in 100 other lives? Whatever will be, will be. Maybe that's the most honest answer the show has given so far. Maybe that's the point. So that's my breakdown of Que Sera Sera, and how it sets up the entire emotional and thematic framework of From. The fatalism in that opening theme isn't just mood setting, it's the lens the show wants you to view every character's fate through. Whether or not the show ever gives us a real answer to what will I be, I think it's already telling us, through the song, that the answer might not matter as much as how the characters face not knowing. Welcome to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this breakdown, leave a comment and let me know what show's theme song or opening sequence I should break down next. If you are new here and this is the first video of mine you watched, welcome. This is what we do. We do not just watch the show. We read it. We sit with the quiet shots and the background details and the things MGM Plus hoped you would scroll past, and we figure out what the story is actually telling us before the lights go down. If that is your thing, subscribe because we are not done with From. Not even close.